Stay 11. Lock in. Lock in. Do I look like I need to be told to lock in? I was yanked from the ilum of eternity, locked in, okay? New word for you. Obviously, since I've started making these YouTube videos, I am endlessly suffering under a deluge of similar videos, all of which tend to come with this, I would say, this term, which I understand is slang for focus, relax. It has a tinge of one of my biggest bugaboos, a tinge of bro stoicism, a sort of catch-all dipshittery that has effectively spread like a plague amongst people wearing the tightest shirts that you've ever seen, spreading thoughts that are effectively a 3-line down telephoned molestation of an ancient form of self-reliance. They'll quote Marcus Aurelius, who, by the way, was like a warrior, poet, god emperor, whose writings read like someone who's living in the throes of extreme self-doubt in all moments. He certainly doesn't it doesn't start with, oh, we're at the war again, but I woke up at 5 and I grinded. It's, fuck, I have to stop myself. I was going to say I don't want to put anyone down, but I have actually no problem putting other people down. I have no problem putting other people down. I think resist the urge to tell others they're not supposed to say things that are in direct confrontation to other people and their beliefs. See, the unfortunate thing that happens when you position yourself in such a way that you are self-righteous to the extent that you do not judge others for their behavior or what they say or do, you're effectively making it so that you are no longer allowed to have strong convictions. Strong convictions, something that my generation is especially disarmed by. Oh, they don't like that. They do not like when you are passionate. They do not like when you have a vehement opinion, because a good, right person, by nature of the internet, is infallible and all-knowing and all-welcoming. Stoicism, if you even remotely try to comprehend it, has more to do with the idea of following through towards the Roman ideal of a human, which is to say someone who exists within their means and uses that existence in order to help other people. I can assure you that your American Psycho daily routine that somehow just so happens to align perfectly with making money by selling PDFs of whatever business model you've designed that everyone else does, building that tower in order to look further down upon people is not the purpose of Stoicism, nor is it to buck up or lock in. All of this shit is aphorisms for dumb men. Stop telling me to lock in. Stop telling people to lock in. A video crossed my path the other day, a very small account, same size as mine, and it said, the title was something like, "Stop complaining, nobody cares." And then the text like on the screen was like, "Stop making excuses." Something like this. I don't remember it perfectly. And I immediately laughed because A, it's funny to say those things. That is funny. Not that that was the intention. And I click on the video, and of course, it's the same person you've seen a million times. By the way, these people I'm friends with. I completely admire these kinds of people. In many ways, I am one of these kinds of people. But of course, you know, perfectly coiffed hair, intensely tight, solid, rigid Andrew Huberman shirt, and just monotone saying, "I want you to know in Stoicism we do." It's just like, to have a fraction of the knowledge and none of the wisdom. What a waste. What a waste. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Let's wrestle. I guess it feels good. It feels good when someone tells you, on very simple terms, to stop feeling sorry for yourself. And that is true. But that isn't Stoicism, that is developing character. Suffer the process of learning, thinking you know something, and then failing over and over and over again. But no, you wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want to do that because how in the name of God do you condense that into a top 10? I mean, top 10. Number 1, wake up on time. Number 2, the first thing you should do is you should lift. Number 3, make sure you get all your emails out of the way really quickly. It's fascinating that it just so happens to be the tenets of modern Stoicism seem to perfectly coincide with capital gain. Whoa! Crazy, crazy stuff. I'm a bozo. I'm a bozo. Like, Don't allow my occasionally competent ability to speak my mind confuse you. I'm not like a well-educated person by any means. I'm a dope. I'm a brute. Trust me. Okay? But at what point are you just, as an individual, sacrificing yourself in your entirety to the dumbest thoughts possible? And because they provide the easiest answer. Just locking in is not enough. You know, I have a motto. I actually do have a motto. I've always had a motto. I've carried it with me everywhere I've gone. And it's completely a Stoic statement if you think about it. And it's everything is within. There is nothing you can do outside of yourself. Everything is within. This is Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi. Let's write his name. It seems fun. Now, why do I like this statement? Why has everything is within always carried with me? Because when I was young, I felt quite powerless. Because when I was young, I felt that I was only capable of failure. I was a 300-pound, frustrated, confused, disgusting person. I could hardly function outside of playing characters. I could only play the character of Brendan. I could only be funny. I could only be angry. I could only live within the means of this bubble, a series of defensive bubbles I created for myself. Which, by the way, is kind of being a person. But you need something to aspire to. You need to believe that you can elevate beyond the enormous portions of yourself that were created purely out of self-defense. I'm a Stoic. If you put all the terms on the table, the packaging. I should probably not rant. I should probably write like a decent series of thoughts about this and then make a separate video about those thoughts. But here we are. It's day 11. Okay, there's nothing else I'm doing today. It means nothing to weather the brutality of life if you don't know why you're alive and you don't value life. It means nothing. If you tell me, don't complain about the rain, and I tell you, it's not only that I'm complaining about the rain, it's that I wish I were dead, then telling me not to complain about the rain is not going to help me. Stoicism is not useful in that case. If you use Stoicism in the contemporary way because it helps you wake up on time, okay. But at that point, it's like, what are we doing here? Do you need someone to give you a series of terms in order to define you as a person, in order to make sense of very basic functions? My advice, I really don't want to be didactic. There's absolutely no way for me to talk every day without ending up inevitably spewing information that I only partially believe in, that I only have even a vague comprehension of it myself, which is of no use within this realm, right? I should present myself as authoritative as possible. What is my answer? How about that? What is my answer to something beyond Stoicism? Well, it's very easy. It's art. It's beauty. There's so much. There's so much. What would be the point of waking up early? What would be the point of weathering the storm if you don't even know what you want to live for or be alive for? Or do you like life? Are you exposed to beauty? Because if not, then what? So you can what? You can get jacked, make money, and then what? For what? I don't know. What are we at? 12 minutes? Oh, the story's only just begun. The edits are going to be all over the place today. Because realistically, I get so out of hand when I do this. The shit I say, I go nuts. I go crazy. I keep going. So I'm going to actually try and edit this down and condense it. I needed this type of term. I would use it when my mind felt clouded. When the idea that it was hopeless would seep in. When I was convinced I would never be able to change or grow. When I was convinced that I would never... When I was certain that failure was the only reality. You know, if you suffer under certain conditions for long enough, you will convince yourself that it's hopeless. And that's insane. Of course there's hope. There's hope as much as you make it. And there's hope as much as you allow yourself. But there need to be things to give you hope. And it can't be just the thing itself. The suffering is not enough. That is abundantly clear. Abundantly clear. Stoicism is not enough. Using a series of masculine aphorisms from, what was it, 1700 years ago or something? Using those as a cudgel to beat your way through life you're just dumb. It's just a dumb way to do things. What's my answer to Stoicism? Art, something beautiful. Have you ever been inspired and in awe? Have you ever looked upon something created by another person and just been shaken to your core that it can exist? And I don't mean it spoke to you. Pull yourself out of it. I don't mean this girl in this book is just like me. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. You got to pull yourself out of it. I mean something created by a master. Created by a master that leaves you with the sense that a person can do this, people can do this. This morning, my wife and I watched Kiki's Delivery Service, if you've ever seen it. It's a Hayao Miyazaki movie. And in the first 5 minutes, my wife was crying, and I was very confused. I said, well, you know, the end of that movie is sad, especially for ladies, and especially for Western-minded people. But the beginning of the movie is not very sad, and there's this scene where she's she's left her home on her journey, on her little hero's journey, and she's on her broom, and she's flying through the air, and it starts to rain and thunder. It's the first great concern of her journey, and she's spiraling down in this gorgeous animation. She lands in a train, into a tray full of hay. She closes the top of the train, the train gate, car, whatever the fuck it is. She closes it, and she lays out in the hay, she falls asleep. We cut to the morning, and you hear cows and munching, and her foot pokes through the hay in her sleep, and a cow ends up licking her foot, and she's kicking her foot, and it's how she wakes up, and the dawn has come, and the rain is gone, and she is on her way to where she is supposed to be going. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful scene. Of course, as I describe it, it's just words, and you may look at it and watch it and go, this is nothing to me. It doesn't appeal to me in any specific way. It's simply a story beautifully told. Things, images, sounds, colors, and in America, the big mistake we made was leaning towards young adult novels, young adult movies, and millennials are largely to blame for this. There are no young adult things. There is no for a young adult concept to function. There would have to first be a time period that exists between childhood and adulthood, but that doesn't exist. There is no time between those two periods. In fact, one usually falls precipitously towards the other, and it's that brutality which creates the adult. Something founded on such delusional grounds can't be good. It's all slop. Writers now, they write for their idea of how things should be, or their idea of how things are. Very few writers are good anymore. Very few people say what people say. A best-selling book 10 years from now will be 40 chapters of top 10 lists. It'll be 40 top 10 lists. That's what it'll be. It's hard. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how people do it. I don't use Instagram. I used to. I don't use Twitter. I used to. I can't. I can't endure the deluge. I don't think you're supposed to know what everybody is doing and what everybody's thinking. I don't think you're supposed to know what someone that you care about is doing and thinking every day. We live in an entirely unnuanced world. It has never been so black and white, and it's just boring and dumb. So how do I fight that feeling? Just beautiful things. They're beautiful things. What else? Because just telling me to wake up, just telling me to lock in, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Again, I'm a goon. But my God, every time I post a video, I kind of leave with a sense of shame and stupidity. And that's not to be self-effacing, it's because I'm ashamed, because I could do better, and I feel stupid, because it's not as good as it could be. I am encouraged by my own distaste for the format itself to improve upon it over time. I don't know. I shouldn't play the game while complaining about it, should I? Right? Anyway, here's top 10. Here's a top 10 list for you. It's top 10. Top 10. I hope that some viewers just skipped right to the top 10 because the rest of this video is completely normal. It was a normal video and I said normal things. Here's my top 10 things that help me lose weight. Number 1, counting calories. Hey-oh, aren't you glad you clicked? Counting calories, something that if you are thinking about losing weight, I bet you already knew. Okay, number 2, this one's really going to blow you, it's going to blow you away. You're going to hear this and you're going to go, what? Number 2, sleep enough. Hey-oh, sleep enough, you never would have, oh, holy jeepers. I should make an entire YouTube account about this. How many times can we go over the same information? Number 3, how about this? We'll do number 3. Realize that you are living in a neurotic loop, a hell of your own creation, and you've given up and rely now on the on the platitudes of fake people on the internet. Number 4, your soul is empty. That's not good. Your soul is empty. Oh, fuck. My soul is empty. Oh, I gotta look that up. Top 10 ways to fill my soul again. Number 5. Oh, you can't forget number 5. Don't drink your meals. Don't drink your meals. My goodness. Don't drink your meals. I mean, that's one of the obvious top 5. Okay, we did 5, not 10. It's clickbait. What can I say? Let's just take a step back and really address this because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're on a journey together. It's a weight loss journey. It's incredibly complex. It's deserving of thousands and thousands of hours of thought and contemplation. Google over and over, how do I do it? Who can do it? Why am I doing it? Number 1, count calories. I know, I'm not afraid to say it. Number 2, sleep enough. I know. Number 3, realize that you are living in a neurotic loop, a hell of your own creation. You've given up and rely on only the platitudes of fake people on the internet. I mean, that's a done deal. I mean, that's one of those ones that, it's been done to death, but it has to be said here. Number 4, your soul is empty. Such a bummer. Such a bummer. Such a bummer. Believe it or not, taking AG1 won't solve this. If you wake up at 6 a.m. and take your fish oil and your vitamin D and you write and you read and you go to the gym and you work out and you come home and you're kind to your wife or your loved ones, even that will not be enough to save you from your soul being empty. I know. It's a tough world. It's a tough, tough world. There's a war. Don't drink your meals. They're simply not filling enough. They're simply not filling enough. If you drink your meals, you'll be hungry later in the day. So that's today's video.